we always review the performance. We always try and get better, and we'll definitely try and get better from what we showed today.
Meanwhile, in Huntington, Marshall defeated Georgia Southern 4-1. So with 3 matches remaining on the Sun Belt Conference schedule, WVU leads Marshall by 2 points atop the league standings, and those 2 teams will square off on November 5th in Huntington. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I was running until I wasn't. My hospital stay would have cost nearly $48,000, even with insurance. But with VA, I'll pay $0. And VA is the best, most affordable health care in America for veterans like me. Knowing that my family is waiting at home and a surprise medical bill isn't, that's good for my heart. My service was then, my benefits are now. Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
The 2024 high school football season is here, and that means the return of ZLM Architects and Engineers Scholar Athlete of the Week. Each Friday night on game night, one athlete will be selected, and we'll have them as a special guest on the show. Also, each winner will receive a nice recognition award from ZLM Architects and Engineers. To be eligible, just go to WVMetroNews.com, click on High School Sports, then click on the ZLM logo, which will take you to the entry form. Fill the form out, get it submitted, and your scholar athlete could be our next winner.
Spring Mills will host one of the biggest games in the state Friday night when Martinsburg pays a visit. Both teams are unbeaten, and Spring Mills head coach Marcus Law knows the challenges Cardinals will face is a significant one.
We have to play the game, but not necessarily play what the occasion is. We understand the magnitude of it. We understand everything about Martinsburg, an elite team. Coach Walker has done a wonderful job with those guys for years now. And so we have to focus on ourselves and what we have done up to this point here.
For Metro News Sports, I'm Joe Mercado.
ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
It is Thursday, October 24th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Thanks for checking in today. We've got our text line open up right now. It's 304-396-TALK. 304-396-8255. We're getting close to the end of this long national nightmare of not having Thundering Herd football on a Saturday. We get things underway next week, of course, as ULM will be the next opponent for the Thundering Herd. But we got to get through this weekend, of course. Until then, I guess we're going to have to talk about other things. And we got basketball to get into today. Earlier today, a media day opportunity for both the men and the women. We're going to have comments from head coach Juli Fulks, the women's side, and we'll hear from Cornelius Jackson in a little bit as well. So had a chance to catch up with some of the players and the coaches earlier today. So some good stuff there. We got a busy night, though. We got to get into all the news first before we do all of that. And we start with, since we're going to be talking basketball today, Sun Belt Conference extending the men's and women's championship in Pensacola. That's going to be there now until 2030. And I like it. I like it a lot better than where Conference USA was taking the Herd to the Star. Now, don't get me wrong. I thought the Star was a fine facility, but we're talking about a football facility here. And, of course, Pensacola has more of that basketball feel to it. And you know how the Sun Belt, it ends the regular season just a little early, and then both the men and women will be at the same destination. And so the tournament takes just a little longer, so it gets started earlier. Still, I like the format of the tournament. So Pensacola until at least 2030 for the Sun Belt. And since we're talking about basketball, we're going to talk a little bit about Fans First. That's coming up on Sunday. The Herd's taking on U-Pike, both the men and the women. Sunday, 4 p.m. for the men, 6:30 for the women. You do need a ticket. It is free, but you do need a ticket. You head to herdzone.com. You get that code entered in, Fans First, and then you will get yourself a ticket. You'll need a ticket for both games. Just to make sure you understand, if you're staying for both games, you're going to have to get a ticket for both games. If you're coming for just one or the other, you'll still need a reserve seat. And, of course, if you're coming to that first game, 3 o'clock is when they're going to open up the concourse and let people in. And I was over at the Henderson Center earlier today, and they're starting to get some things organized over there. I know there's going to be a different entrance way for a lot of people. So they're working on the plaza a little bit more right now. Usually at the plaza is where I park, so that's kind of how I noticed a few things. So basketball is coming up on Sunday. We're going to, of course, be there, and we'll have all the reaction from Cornelius Jackson in his first game, exhibition or regular season, as the Herd head coach, and we'll get his comments in a few minutes. And, of course, Juli Fulks, her team will follow. For her, she's a veteran, over 20-year veteran of being a coach, over 400 wins. I think that's the number. That's the right number. She's got a lot of wins under her belt, a lot of victories. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. So we'll hear from them in a few minutes. We've got some awards and some honors coming out today. Sunbelt Men's Golfer of the Week is Ryan Bilby. So congratulations to him. I kind of suspected he might be a Player of the Week or a Golfer of the Week honoree just with his performance. And so he gets the men's honor this week for the Thundering Herd. So congratulations to him. He finished second at the Dayton Flyer Invitational. He led the field in birdies with 14. Also earned the runner-up finish after shooting 72, 69, and 70 for a 70.3 scoring average at the NCR Country Club in Kettering, Ohio. He was only one of 4 golfers in the field to finish under par in the tournament, and he's the second Marshall golfer to earn Sunbelt Weekly honor. Camerican Jarvis earned it earlier this season, so congratulations to him. And, of course, swimming and diving continues to do what they do best, and that's just win and rack things up. The Diver of the Week in the Sun Belt is Grace Kelschmeyer. So congratulations to her. And the Swimmer of the Week in the Sun Belt is Madeline Hart. So congratulations to her as well. Now, Hart, she competed in the 200 medley relay, winning an anchor leg of 24.13. She competed twice in the 200 butterfly. She won each of the 2 knockout rounds, finishing in a time of 210.61 and 204.05. Cincinnati, Ohio native, finished the evening leading off the 400 free relay in a time of 52.32. Saturday morning, she actually raced the second leg of the winning 200 free relay. Time was 23.44, set a pool record of 133.72. Her second swim in the morning was the 200 butterfly. She won that event. It was a Sunbelt Conference leading time of 201.66. Her second relay, this is how good she was. Her second relay performance was the anchor leg, and that was 23.18 of the 200 medley relay. And her final individual swim was the 100 butterfly. She won the knockout event, broke the Duquesne pool record in a time of 54.79. Also leads the Sun Belt Conference this season. So, yes, Swimmer of the Week there. And I'll tell you this, Kelschmeyer, she was pretty good on the boards Friday evening at Duquesne. She won both the 1 and the 3 events with the scores of 289.88 and 279.90 respectively. So 1 meter and 3 meter events scores were pretty good for her. Swimming and diving sweeping the weekly awards for Marshall and the Sun Belt. So a lot good happening. Of course, yesterday we got 2, I thought, really good performances. We got an offensive showcase yesterday. Chris Grassie's squad beating Georgia Southern 4-1, thanks to Georgia Southern even helping out at one point. The Herd's now 4-0-2 in Sun Belt play. Good crowd last night on hand for this one. 1,817 showed up to root on Chris Grassie and his squad. And then the Marshall women got an important point. They're just 1, 3, and 4 in Sun Belt play, but they did get a point as they were in a shutout match with Old Dominion. No score at the conclusion of this one. 0-0. The proper way to say that. I'm sorry. No score there. So a shutout. It was a complete shutout for both teams, and so the Herd in the match gets a point. We'll take it. Hopefully we can start getting some wins for this Thundering Herd team. But some good stuff yesterday on the soccer pitch. We got to watch a little bit of that men's game yesterday as well. And so I thought the guys looked really good. I know there have been some people grumbling online. Imagine that, social media and other places, grumbling online about Chris Grassi. 4 goals, I'll take it. I'll take the offensive explosion from the Thundering Herd. They look good. They were attacking. I really was pleased with the way they performed with what I saw yesterday. So hats off to Chris Grassi and his squad getting that win over Georgia Southern 4-1. And, of course, with the ladies pitching a shutout, didn't get anything on the board either, but still crucial point as they're trying to get themselves in position for a postseason berth. When we continue, we're going to get your text in, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We got a lot more to get into. We're going to hear from Juli Fulks first. She's coming up next. Get her comments as Media Day, availability earlier today. And we've got a few things from her as we're getting set for the season. And obviously, the first event up on the schedule will be the fans' first event on Sunday. And again, that's going to be a 6:30 game. And if you want a ticket to that, it is free admission, but you got to go to herdzone.com. Hit that code fans first. You get your ticket. It's going to be reserved seating. So if you want to sit somewhere specifically, you better go get your ticket now. Again, it's a free ticket, but you have to go online, get your ticket. It's reserved. herdzone.com, code fans first to get that ticket. When we continue, we're going to hear from Juli Fulks. Later on, we'll hear from head coach Cornelius Jackson. So Juli and Corny coming up on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hey, Tri-State, there is a place to shop at. The Huntington's Peddlers Mall is now open in the historic Central City District in Huntington. Over 200 vendors specializing in vintage antiques, home decor, furniture, collectibles, new mattresses, and everything in between. Peddlers Mall, located 800 14th Street West in Huntington. It's the place to go. Open 7 days a week. Visit anytime. Check out the website, peddlersmall.com, for more information. It's the Tri-State place to shop, Huntington's Peddlers Mall.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the Tri-State. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
If I was to describe this sandwich in one word, I would say magical. Hi, this is Jamor, and the little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich is that extra oomph. I go back and forth from the spicy filet to the original filet. I get into the sweetness of the honey, then you have the extra kick from the spicy filet. The combination alone takes it over the top. It's award-winning.
The Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is back with a bite. Try it with the original or spicy filet, now for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Hey, is that a faucet running?
Nope, that's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest.
It is?
Yeah, forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink. The water comes straight from the forest to us. In fact...
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
How do trees clean the air?
They soak up the dirty air on their leaves, branches, and trunks, which means clean air for us.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yep, but the forest does more than give us clean air and water. It gives us shade for hot days, birds to listen to, and trees to climb.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know how cool the forest could be. Hey, let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Our text line is open, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Welcome back to The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Earlier today, had a chance to catch up with a few of Marshall's best and brightest. It was Media Day. We got to talk to Coach Jackson. We also got to talk to Coach Fulks and a few players. We're going to have some of that throughout the rest of the week and next week as we're getting set for the first true look at both squads coming up on Sunday for the fans' first exhibition game. It's fans first. That's the code you enter in to get your free ticket. But it's exhibition, preseason, whatever you want to call it. On the scoreboard, it might matter. In the record books, it won't. End of the day, though, first look at the Thundering Herd. We'll get a chance to see what these two teams are really about, taking on U-Pike, both teams in action on Sunday. And when we get a chance to talk to Coach Fulks earlier today, one of the things that she said right off the bat was basically in her opening statement that this team is ready to go.
We are really excited to get going on Sunday. Our players, we've been able to have a scrimmage, getting our first exhibition game, and being in the arena with fans is always, I think, a really fun experience, especially after what, was accomplished last year. We know that we have a great crowd, we have a great following, and we're looking forward to just getting back on the court and being in front of everybody and having everyone here. So
she also said that this team, thanks to that Italy trip, and if you don't remember, the Herd got to go overseas for a few games. And with that opportunity, you got to practice early. You got to bond as a team early. You got a chance to go through some of your prep. You got that extra practice time. It was really great. You have a new coach coming in and that opportunity to really get a head start. And she said, thanks to that Italy trip, that this team coming up is up to speed.
I think we've had a great summer. Obviously, getting to go to Italy was a huge bonus for us. It gave us 10 extra practices, which equated to a lot of extra hours in the gym, which from, just purely basketball allows you to get more systems in offensively and defensively. And so we feel like in some ways with a new staff, we're up to speed because we got that extra time.
And that's the plus to events like that. New coach coming in, opportunity to set what she expects of this team early, to outline what they're going to try to do, bond, see what you've got player-wise, And so she said because of that trip, the players' work really gives this team that head start.
The other part, which is all the credit to the players, they've had a great, work ethic during practice, after practice. So everything we've tried to accomplish, it really goes to them because they come in the gym at night. They're here in the morning. They would normally all be in here right now, getting all their extra workouts in. And so I think all the time that they've been putting in gives us a great head start heading into Sunday.
Coach Fulks earlier today during media day for the Thundering Herd. Now, there was one thing that I was kind of curious about. We've talked about it. This team is the reigning champs. Different coach. Players change every year. Every team has players come and go. I think there's a solid core of players there that helped lead this team to a championship last year, not just a regular season, but in the tournament as well. So when the Sun Belt Conference poll came out and the Herd was picked 6, I don't know if I saw that as, okay, they don't know what Marshall's really got coming back. They don't know enough about Coach Fulks. They lost Abby Beeman. Come on. You lose Abby Beeman. Right there, that's a big part of your team. So there are some questions coming into this season. And so when I was asking Coach earlier today, what do you think of the poll? Is the poll something that you look at, and is that going to be something that motivates you? Does that fuel you? Or do you actually think that right now, where they think you are, that's a fair evaluation?
No, I think it's always motivating. And, I never went back to see exactly where they were picked last year, but I know it wasn't at the top that year either. And I think preseason polls have become even harder in, kind of the recent age with transfer portal and NIL. I went through the look when I was, being asked to evaluate teams, and you're just trying to figure out on everybody's roster who's still there, who's graduated. You don't even know anymore with graduation and grad transfers and who still has eligibility left. And so, in some ways, I think preseason polls are harder than they've ever been to be accurate because you're just kind of guessing at new rosters, and that's one of the different things. But, I think absolutely we would have preferred to be picked higher. That'll be motivating for everybody, and that just gives us extra energy. But our success is not going to be how we feel about our Sun Belt preseason rankings. Our success is going to be how do we approach practice every day? How do we approach changing and being better at things every day? And if we want that end result, it's going to be because of what we do every day on the court. And that's the part I think they have been great about, and that's the part that gives them a chance and gives all of us a collective chance to have the results we want.
Juli Fulks earlier today, the Herd being picked 6. I think it's a little too low, but she makes some really good points there. She makes some good points about how this team is being evaluated right now. And while you'd like to be the team picked to win it all, you'd rather just be the team to win it all than just be picked to win it all. I get her point completely. And then finally from her today, and this is going to come up. This has come up last year. It's going to come up again. Last year was a different style of play. Coach Kemper had his style of play. Then when Coach Caldwell comes in, she has this style in which it's like hockey. You got shift changes. Okay, 5 in, 5 out. Okay, next person up. And so you're constantly rotating. I don't think you're going to see that frantic of a pace when it comes to how you manage your rotation. I'm sure you're going to see a lot of changes, but it might not be, okay, ball stoppage, next 5 up. It might not be that rapid. You might see some players in there a little longer or for longer stretches. So when Coach was asked about her style of play, her answer pretty much is, whatever it takes to win is my style of play.
When I always think style of play, the only thing that matters to me is, does it fit our players? Obviously I've been a head coach. This is now my 21st year, and we've been blessed to have a lot of success and do it a lot of different ways. And, I kind of laugh because my style is one more point on the board. And whatever that takes, I'm willing to do. I don't really care otherwise. And, our job was to come in and learn our players and figure out what they're great at, and then put together a plan that maximizes who they can be on offense and defense. And, obviously we graduated players last year. We had some players who aren't with us now. And so you got to figure out what are the pieces that we can retain. And there are certainly pieces that hold over. Obviously, their intensity to play every possession, their ability to scramble and rotate. And so we're going to make sure those things play into what we're doing now. But at the end of the day, I don't know that we're running everybody in every 90 seconds. But there's pieces that we want to retain because they became really good at that last year. And I think I would be doing everybody a disservice if us as a staff weren't trying to find ways to utilize, those skills in terms of also changing the things that help maximize the strengths of the returners.
No style. Winning, that's the style. That's the style for the Thundering Herd. And if you're a big Bruce Lee fan like I am, how many of Bruce Lee fans? He said one time, that reminded me of that today. When one has no style, he can fit in with any style. I know we're getting a little deep here, quoting Bruce Lee on the program now. But, hey, when you have no style, you can fit in with any style. What's the style? One more point. That's my style. One more point than the other team. So Juli Fulks earlier today, we're going to hear more from her the rest of the week, and we'll hear from her players as well throughout the week, and, of course, Sunday next week as well. So we got a lot of basketball coverage coming up, but we want to turn our attention to the men when we continue. Head coach Cornelius Jackson addressing the media. We'll get his thoughts, and also there might be a surprise trick or two coming out of a certain player on the team that I didn't know he was working on that shot. We'll talk about it when we continue on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Make fall cleanup quick and easy and save big money at Menards. From chainsaws, hedge trimmers, to blowers and more, Works Power Tools and Lawn Equipment have the power for you to get the job done faster and easier. Check out Menards' entire selection of Works Power Tools and lawn equipment. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with kids, finances, insurance, and life? Well, let your State Farm agent help you simplify and get to a better state. With State Farm handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% to help you get ahead. Call an agent today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Huntington, John Garden, 304-525-1116. And in Barbersville, Marcia Slater, 304-736-6100.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. In the early morning hours of September 27th, Hurricane Helene made its way into the mountains of Tennessee, North Carolina, and Virginia, leaving devastation in its wake. In response to this tragedy, the Kindred family of stations is partnering with the Robert Newland Air Park to organize a Hurricane Helene relief concert on Friday, October 25th at 7 p.m. at the new pavilion at the Robert Newland Air Park. As proud Appalachians, we know the toll this disaster has taken on our friends and communities. For just $10 at the door, you can join us for this essential fundraiser, and we're honored to feature performances by the Bing Brothers Band, Jack Crack, the Huntington Blues Society, Larry Atkins, the Karaoke King, and many more artists to be announced. Food and beverages will be available for purchase at the pavilion and inside the Fly-In Cafe. All proceeds will go directly to organizations in some of the hardest hit areas of Western North Carolina, Virginia, and Tennessee. Let us stand together as a community, united in compassion and hope. We look forward to seeing you there, supporting those in need with the Fly-In Cafe, the Robert Newland Air Park, and Kindred Family of Stations.
Looking for a night of fall fun, excitement, and giving back? Join us for the All Aboard Fall and Halloween Express on Saturday, October 26th at the Willow Ridge Event Center in Barboursville. Celebrate the season with live entertainment, delicious food and drinks, and the perfect mix of fall and Halloween festivities, all while supporting a great cause. Proceeds benefit the Developmental Therapy Center, helping children with special needs. Tickets are going fast, so grab yours today. Visit DTC's website at dtchuntington.org for tickets and sponsorship opportunities.
Hi everyone, I'm Kristen Bell, and I invited you here to my hotel room to talk about your cheeks. Your big, beautiful cheeks. Get your mind out of the gutter, I'm talking about swabbing them. Did you guys know that each year 20,000 Americans with blood cancer are searching for their life-saving marrow match? Can you even believe that? I mean, people need marrow, you guys, and we have it. So here's how we can help. It's really, really simple. All you have to do is swab your cheek, this cheek. Then go to Gift of Life Marrow Registry. It's so easy, anyone can do it. And in case you're wondering, if you're a match, donating, it's a lot easier than you think. So wherever you are, go ahead and swab that cheek. Go to giftoflife.org and get a free kit sent to your home, or find a donor drive in your area so that you can swab a cheek and save a life. It's only a minute of your time, but it can give someone else the rest of their life.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Thursday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Don't forget, we got Thursday night football coming up tonight. The Rams taking on the Vikings. We're going to the air at 7:30 right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Get your fantasy football lineup set. I've got mine set. I'm ready to go. Let's get back to the basketball. I had a chance earlier today to be over at Marshall Media Day and got to hear a little bit from the new head coach of the Thundering Herd, Cornelius Jackson. You see the smile on his face when he comes in the room. He honestly, I think, is truly living what he's saying right now. He said several times about how blessed he was, how honored he was to be the head coach of the Thundering Herd. I mean, this is a lifelong dream for him, I'm sure, come true. You get to be head coach of your school. I mean, for a lot of players, that's a dream. When you think about, okay, I would like to go into coaching, where would you like to coach? And for a lot of people, you want to take the biggest, best job you can get. For others, hey, I'd like to come back home and be the coach. And so we start there with Coach Jackson, with his opening remarks. And he's excited to be the head coach of the Thundering Herd. And he started out by just pointing out how honored he was that he was the head coach for Marshall.
First of all, it's an honor to be the head coach of my alma mater. We're fired up. The guys have been really, working hard, doing everything that we're asking, and we've been pushing them pretty hard, and they've been responding pretty well. So we're excited for Sunday.
So Sunday, of course, being the fans' first match, 4 o'clock and 6:30 for the men and the women, respectively. You Pike the opponent. And again, as a reminder, if you want to go to that, it is free, but you got to go to herdzone.com, get your ticket. Fans first, the best way to do that. Reserve your seat now because seats will be reserved. You can't just show up and sit anywhere you want. So you got to get your ticket now. What is Coach most excited about was a question asked of him today. Just now that you're the coach, what are you most excited about?
We focus on the process. All right, so since taking over, it's kind of been, they say when you're the head coach, it's your process. So we're more focused on that, and it'll be interesting to see because the guys, like I said, they've been working tremendously hard at the things we're asking them to do. So it's going to be fun to kind of watch it unfold for the first time against another opponent.
So that's probably what he's most excited about. Okay, let's see what it looks like. We got an opponent. Let's put it out there, see what we got. And he just continued to talk about when he was asked about, how's it feel? You're going to be the head coach. What's it like? You wake up now, you're the head coach. Just people trying to get that. What's it feel like? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Kind of questions. And he just reiterated a little bit. He's just blessed to be the head coach.
I talked with the team 2 days ago, and I just reminded them how blessed we were. So. Every day I wake up and every day I walk into my office, I realize how blessed I am to be the head coach here at Marshall. It's something that dear to my heart and something I don't take for granted.
And so as we got through this event, I was curious when I asked him this question. I wanted to know, was there a moment when you just looked at your team and you saw, okay, this is my team now. This team's taking on my characteristics. It's clicking finally. This is a Cornelius Jackson team. And I don't think he wanted to go there with his response to my question. I don't think I got the answer I was looking for, because I did ask him, hey, have you seen where this team has started to take on, your characteristics? It looks like your team. And he didn't want to talk about how this was his team, because to him, it's not his team. He's talking about how this team is our team. That's what he stressed when I asked him about, hey, this team started to take on the look of a Cornelius Jackson type team.
Yeah, the term "my team" is kind of cliche, right? I don't really look at it like that. I look at it as our team. Nate, Mike Dawson, and Obina, and I can keep going on and on and on. So I don't really like the term "my team." I think it's our team. I think it's Marshall's team. I think it's Huntington's team. And again, we're just so excited. They passed me the keys to kind of lead the charge, and I'm excited about that every day. But again, it's our team. It's not Corny Jackson's team.
And I understand that where he's coming from. He doesn't want this to come out here and say, like, yeah, this is Corny's team. No, nobody is implying that this is anything but Marshall's team. Nobody's implying that. This is a team that, as Marshall fans, you take ownership of. Yeah, that's our team. We get that completely. What I was looking for is, when you look at this team that you're coaching now, is it starting to take the shape and form of a team in your own image? Like this is how we run it. This is, my process. He talked about process. And so is there a moment there when you see, okay, it's starting to come together, my fingerprints are on this thing now. And I'm sure we'll get through the first few weeks and we'll kind of see what this team looks like in comparison to previous teams. What stands out that definitely has his influence, his signature? What does a Cornelius Jackson team as the head coach look like, coached? And so that's what I'm trying to get at today. But he's excited. He's happy. He doesn't want anyone to think that, he's just coming in here and like, yeah, this is my team. No, it's, that's not anything that anyone's applying. We all know this is Marshall's team. And yes, he is right. He's been given the key, so now he's driving. What kind of driver is he going to be of the car? Probably next time I get a chance to talk to him. Now, one thing that he talked about was he was asked this question, and it took him a second to get to maybe what Tim Stevens was asking from the Herald-Dispatch. And Tim was asking about, hey, any surprises, anything stand out to you, as you go along with this. And there is one player that he did mention as a surprise, and it was sort of a surprise to me. He mentioned Nate Martin because Nate's working on something in his arsenal that I'm excited to see.
We believe, all 16 of our guys have been working really hard. We believe in all of them. Nate Martin has stood out, the most to me, and just watching his process and the work he's put in since he's been here, and how he so much offensively he's developed his game, and he's making threes now. I want to say in practice he's probably Nate 5 for 10, and that's something that's different, something that's unique for him because he's never taken a three until he got here, and he still hadn't taken one in the game. So maybe he'll take one Sunday and surprise a lot of people.
I don't know if I'm telegraphing that or not. Now they got to guard Nate Martin on the perimeter. Nate Martin, 3-point specialist. What if he starts hitting them Next thing you know, you're going to have to pay attention to him inside. You're going to have to pay attention to him outside. So that is a pleasant surprise that maybe we're going to see more of a three-point shot from Nate Martin. What does Nate Martin have to say about his three-point shot?
Yeah, that's definitely something I've been working on all summer. I have to give credit to RT Ryan Taylor. He's been with me every day for about an hour or two a day since the end of last season, just work on the tedious little parts of the jump shot. He's definitely helped me a lot, just encouraging me, teaching me, kind of developing that aspect of my game.
So Nate Martin, your three-point specialist for the Thundering Herd. What about any advice from another three-point specialist on the team, and that is Obinna Anachili Killen? What's he got to say about that shot?
Hey, all I'm going to say is keep shooting. Literally, just keep shooting. But he improved his shot a lot, which is crazy. Like, you guys are going to see it, and you guys are going to be, like, amazed. But, yeah, he hits it in practice. But, yeah.
Practice shooters and game shooters, two different things. You might be hitting them in practice. We want to see you hit them in the game. So that's going to be a big difference. I know that has been something over the years. Well, they practice good. They practice well. They look good in practice. All that's great. What's it look like in game? What's it look like when it means something? That's what we're looking for. We'll get a glimpse of it on Sunday. Again, a reminder, if you want to go to that one, you got the men's game at 4, the women at 6:30. Both games are free. You will need a ticket for both games. They won't be clearing the Henderson Center, but if you want a seat for both games, you're going to have to get a ticket. Herdzone.com. You got a free promo code there. Fans first. It is free admission, but that's the best way to get your seat. All seats will be reserved. So what do you think? You feeling a little bit more optimistic? Are you excited so far for what we've got coming up on Sunday with the team? Text line is open, 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. More coming up on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hey, Lex, I got a question for you about our friends over at K&B Pest Control.
Shoot.
Do you think they'll eliminate my mother-in-law?
I think so.
She's in the house, kind of pesky.
From what I understand, they'll kill for your business, so you might want to have a talk.
No, these guys are great, man. Locally owned and operated in Huntington, West Virginia, serving the tri-state area. Free estimates, highly skilled staff. There's specialized training and inspections and solutions. So no matter what's going on, they'll figure it out. They'll find out where these pests are coming from, and they will eliminate them.
Yep, and you can even do comparisons with their Facebook page. They got real pest pics. This is when the critters start coming out, Terrence, so if you're seeing problems like they have on their Facebook page, call 304-523-4281.
Go ahead and ask for Patrick or Becca. They will hook you up. We promise you it's KNBPestControl.com. Go ahead and hit them up online as well. K&B Pest Control, they will kill for your business.
Trust the guys with over 40 years of experience at K&B Pest Control.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Hi, I'm Delegate Sean Hornbuckle, and I've always been appreciative of your support. It's an honor to serve you at the legislature, and I'm asking for your vote again. I will continue to fight for our community and partner with people at home to keep us moving forward. You can vote early starting October 23rd through November 2nd at Cabell County Courthouse or at Drinko Library at Marsh University. Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th, and I'd be grateful to earn your vote again. Delegate Sean Hornbuckle.
Paid for by Hornbuckle for House.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Hey everyone, it's Joe Montana. Spreading the word about pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can be life-threatening. If you're 65 or older like me, you're at increased risk. So, what's the game plan? A strong defense. Pneumococcal pneumonia can strike at any time in any season, so you shouldn't wait to help protect yourself. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccination today and learn more at knowpneumonia.com. That's KNOW pneumonia.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Here's another Kinder Communications Community Chatter. Heritage Farm and Museums having their Fall Fest through October. Good eats, awesome animals, thrilling adventure, and amazing artisans. Take advantage of the Treehouse Trek and the Nature Center as well. Lots of activities. Check out heritagefarmmuseum.com for details.
This Kinder Communications Community Chatter brought to you by Cremines King Funeral Homes of Racine, Gallipolis, and Pomeroy, Ohio. Here to assist you in your time of need.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night.
Perfect. I love my job.
Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
Final segment for today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour, 304-396-TALK, 303-996-8255. We've been talking a little bit about Marshall basketball, Media Day earlier today over at the practice facility. We got Fans First coming up on Sunday for the Thundering Herd, both the men and women. Texter wrote in and said, Paul, I'm excited to actually see the women more than the men. Juli Fulks is a proven winner, and the women hopefully can continue to win conference championships. So a little love for the women. Appreciate that text. And you can text in as well. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. You're going to do the doubleheader? 4 p.m., 6:30. I think we'd be out of there by what? By 8 or so? 8-ish, maybe. And again, I don't know what a Juli Fulks game looks like runtime. I know there won't be those mass substitutions here. I mean, maybe that'll shave a couple of seconds off. You know, is it going to be quick? Is it going to be whatever the style she needs at that moment demands? Again, her style of one more point than the opponent, that's her style. So what are you more excited about? Honest question. Are you more excited for Cornelius Jackson, Corny Jackson, his debut as the head coach of the Marshall men? So are you more excited for Corny, or are you more excited or curious to see what the, again, new look women's team will be with Juli Fulks? It'll be a different style. And I think with Coach Jackson, we know we're going to get something similar to what we got last year. I mean, just part of the DNA of that Marshall basketball team. You know, we're not reinventing the wheel 100% here. You've got someone that can carry on some of the good traits of the previous teams. He's recruited these guys. He's got a different schedule now, but he's still highly involved in this team from the makeup point of view. It's going to look like what Marshall basketball maybe looked like last year, but I'm sure there are going to be a lot of new wrinkles. There's going to be a lot of standout players, performances. Again, we're talking about Nate Martin maybe opening up his three-point shot. So now you're going to have to contend with him on the perimeter a little bit more. I mean, it was an effective deterrent for a little while there to have Obina be able to pop up from three now and then. I like the easy basket, though. Again, I'm not paid the extreme amounts of money to be the head coach of the basketball team because that would be not a good use of your money. I will take that pay, but that's not a good use of your money. You don't want me drawing up plays. I get it. We're all at this point, we all have our takes, but I've always thought that sometimes you rely a little too much on the three. I don't want to pass up avenues of opportunity because, okay, look, the three's open. If it's going down, great, keep throwing it up. If it's not going down, go to something else. And, of course, the other team's going to dictate a little bit of what you got available. If they're only giving you looks in the three, you got to make those count. If they're guarding you on the perimeter, you can get inside, get some of those easy layups and baskets as well. I don't care how you score, just score, right? I think that's a fair statement. I don't care how you score, just score. But if you can open up the trick bag a little bit, you got a Nate Martin that can pop up from three now and then. I just don't want to see Nate Martin going up for three every single basket. I want to see him use his size and his presence, and I want to see Obina and Chili Killen do that as well. But if he's open and he's out there and he thinks he's got a stroke on it, take a shot. Make the other team think about it. I mean, that's a good mix there, I think. We won't know. We'll find out coming up Sunday. We'll find out Thursday. I've got Thursday on the brain. We'll find out on Sunday what this team looks like. I apologize. Sunday, Fans First coming up. Herdzone.com to get your tickets. Again, you got to enter the code Fans First if you want the free ticket. You can get them at the door, but at the same time, everything's going to be reserved. You want to get your ticket now, and you just head over to herdzone.com to get your ticket before seats sell out. You need a ticket for both games, men and women. And if you go, are you sticking around for the women? Are you curious a little bit what this team's going to look like, or is it a wait and see for you? 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That is our text line to be a part of the program. We got football tonight. I mentioned earlier we got Thursday night football. The Rams taking on the Vikings tonight. We'll have the game starting at 7:30. 8:15 is going to be kickoff. Listen to it right here. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We've also got Sunbelt action tonight. Georgia Southern at Old Dominion, 7 o'clock tonight. Also, number 19 Pitt will play host to Syracuse. That's coming up at 7:30 as well. If you're a Marshall fan, you're rooting for Old Dominion right now. Absolutely, you are cheering for Old Dominion. Don't question it. Just do it. Root for Old Dominion. Because if Georgia Southern continues to win out, Marshall doesn't have a chance at any share of the East Division. And right now they look pretty good. And if Old Dominion can get a loss on them, then you at least have a shot at a share of the East Division crown. That's the first step. I'd hate to see this Herd team win out the rest of the way and Georgia Southern win out, period, and that one game be the game that determined the East Division crown. It's an important game. It's a conference game. They're all important games. But that's where we're rooting for Old Dominion tonight. So if you're going to be watching the game, remember, you're a Monarchs fan tonight. Just for this one night only, you are a Monarchs fan, as everyone's rooting against Georgia Southern. So that's coming up tonight. And again, we got football on the radio right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930, as it will be the Rams taking on the Vikings. First kick, 8:15. Get your radios going. We'll have it for you. And, of course, we got a busy night tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow's high school football Friday night across the Tri-State. We'll be talking about a lot of these games tomorrow. We've got Huntington High playing host to Capital tomorrow night. We'll have the video stream on our Facebook page and our website, as well as the Cabell Midland and South Charleston game that's coming up Friday. That'll be on radio and the stream, 97.9 The River. Spring Valley at Woodrow Wilson coming up on Friday as well on 92.7 and 98.5 The Planet. And Ashland taking on Johnson Central. That's coming up Friday, 7:30. Cat Sports 93.3 and 1340. That does it for this edition. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Don't forget, stick around. It is going to be a weird night around here. We don't have a Coach Huff show tonight, so we got football a little early tonight with Thursday Night Football. 7:30 going to be our airtime with the Rams and the Vikings. Enjoy the game, everyone. We'll talk tomorrow. Until then, have a great night.
Broadcasting from the Dave & Buster's studios. Eat, drink, play, and watch at Dave & Buster's in the Huntington Mall. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. WRBC, W231BS Huntington.